It's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to play Stuck in the Middle with You by Stealers Wheel. Now this is like a super classic play-along song. It's pretty simple for the most part. None of the chord shapes are hard. It's all really basic chords. The rhythm is going to be a little challenging if those things generally tend to challenge you, because it's not just single strumming pattern the whole time, but it is most of the time, so this one isn't too difficult. And if you find yourself having trouble with this as we go along, I have a few resources for you. There's my free ebook, 100% free, and that'll give you all the basics of rhythm and strumming and all that stuff and chords. And then if you want kind of like the guided tour through it all, I also have my premium beginners course, and that just takes you step by step from like never having seen a guitar before, all the way to the point where you'd be able to play along with tons of songs, just using all the basic chord shapes and strumming. So, there's that if you need any extra help. Otherwise, we're just gonna jump right into this one and take a look at the first part of the tune. We're gonna divide it into 5 parts. The intro, then there's like the verse, the chorus, the bridge, and then the outro. And the intro, even though it's the first thing to happen, it's that, I'm actually going to show you how to play that last, because you don't really have to do it, and it's definitely the hardest part of the song. So we'll come to that at the very end. We'll build up to it. We're going to start off with the verse, and for the first part of it, we only need 2 chords, D and then G. Now, normally I would go through the chord shapes and then add the strumming pattern, but for this one, I want to do the strumming pattern right away, because once you have it, it's going to make the rest of the song so simple. I'm just going to be holding a D chord the whole time. The strumming goes like this. A bit slower, 3 and 4. So we're going to break up this pattern, and the first thing that we're going to do is get the first couple of strokes. To do that though, I need you to count it in. Most strumming patterns start on beat 1. This one is interesting because it actually starts on the and after 4. I basically need you to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna count, and then I'm gonna do the strokes at the right time while still counting. We're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and mute. So I'm going up, down, up, mute. That might be the first step, just up, down, up, mute. And when I mute, all I'm doing is just touching the strings with the side of my hand. Nothing fancy. You don't want to do it too hard, or else, well, if you do it too hard, you just get a cool percussion effect. If you do it soft, you still get a mute. So no matter what you do, it's going to work out. But you want to do it with the beat, with the rhythm. So let's count it out and figure out exactly what that rhythm is. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, up, down, up, mute. So we're starting on the and after 4, and that's really peculiar. Most strumming patterns start right on beat 1, but this one starts early. 3 and 4, up, down, up, mute. 3 and 4, up, down, up, mute. Just try that with me. 3 and 4, up, down, up, mute. And once you can do that comfortably, counting out and going 3 and 4, up, down, mute. 3 and 4, up, down, and just repeating it really rhythmically, we can move on with the strumming pattern. After that, we just have up, mute. And let's count that and figure out how that one sounds and feels with the counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and mute. So we're coming in on the and after 2, and then the and after 3. That's where our upstrokes are. The upstrokes are always with the ands. The downstrokes are always with the numbers. There will be times when you break those rules, but that's what happens 99.9% of the time. They're not so much rules as what makes sense and what everybody does because it makes so much sense. You're just moving your arm up and down the whole time, and the downstrokes line up with the numbers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Doesn't matter what pattern you do, it'll always work that way. And if you train yourself to do that, strumming is so easy, picking is so easy, it all becomes so easy and so rhythmic. Anyways, we're gonna count that. 1 and 2 and 3 and mute. 1 and 2, up, mute. So count that out just like I did, work it out. When you're ready, we can put it all together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So every mute is followed immediately by an upstroke. You know, you might have to get used to that motion going mute, up, mute, up, mute, up. Just doing that a whole bunch of times. So when you mute, you land your pick under the strings and then you can just go up, mute, up. So your first goal for anybody learning this song should be to play that pattern with just the D chord. Once you can go, the rest of the song is going to be really, really easy. So now that we are at that point where we can play the D chord with the strumming pattern, let's add some chord shapes to this one. For the first half of the verse, we're only going to need the D chord and the G chord. So D and G. We do the strumming pattern 4 times on D, 2, 3, 4. Then we do it twice on G, 2, then 2 times on D. And then here it's a little bit different. Here we're gonna play A, C, G, D. And the strumming is gonna be different, but incredibly simple for those parts. Over the A chord, we're just gonna go down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now we switch to C, and we go down, up, down. And then we go down, up, down on a G chord. And then back to our initial pattern with the D chord. So I'm just gonna go through it from the A chord one time, then we're gonna put the whole verse together. So from the A chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And down, up, 3 times. Down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So it might be a bit tricky getting back into that D chord. That's why I told you to practice it so much and to be so good at D chord with the strumming pattern, because you just gotta be able to bust it out. Anyways, let's go back now and go through the entire verse with the strumming pattern. You can always just watch this part and then try it yourself after if you're not comfortable yet. Starting off on the D chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Cool, so they'd do that part a couple times and then we would move on to the next section. And for this one, we're only gonna need one new chord shape, A minor 7. And that's just like a C chord, but without this finger. Or you could think of it like an A minor chord, but you lift that finger off. Now this thing is just chords and a strumming pattern. And you already know the chord shapes, you already know the strumming pattern. There's one part where we just strum the chord once on beat 1 and then we kind of count it out, you know, going please, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know, and that's the only part where it's not just strumming with a pattern. And that's super simple. You're just strumming and counting, and you'll definitely grasp that part. So let's just try it. You know, if you're not sure, you can always just watch this part and then try again later. Here we go, starting off on a G chord with our pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the bulk of the song. All we have left is the intro and the outro. And to be completely honest, those parts aren't 100% required to play this song. 99% of the time when somebody's gonna go play this around the campfire, they're just gonna start off with feeling something ain't right. Just do it that way. But if you wanna take it that extra step further, we can figure out the outro and the intro. We're gonna do the outro first because it's really easy. Let's just get it out of the way. So we're gonna be coming from the A, C, G, that part, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, here I am. And then just keep on this D chord. And that's actually not too difficult. All we're doing is we're taking our normal pattern and we're alternating it with a really simple down, 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 up. So it's a big down, down, and then a little down, up, miss, and then we just do our regular pattern, up, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, down, up, up, up. Just practice it exactly like that. Going 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 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 up. Regular pattern. Down, 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 up. Up, down, up, up, up. You do it 3 times and then you just end with a down, down, and you just let it kind of float away. That's all there is to it. Now for the intro, personally, I think this is just as difficult as learning the rest of the song. I don't know, it just has a lot of stuff in it. The first thing I would take a look at is the notes in it. We're gonna be playing on the top 4 strings. And our first shape, I have my ring finger on the 7th fret of the G string, and I have my pinky finger on the 7th fret of the B string. So that's the 2nd and 3rd string, at both at the 7th fret. And you get the top 4 strings. Well, that's what we should have right now. We go from there, we take it down 2 frets. So at the 5th fret now. So that's the first bit. Then we're gonna switch our little shape here. We're gonna put our first finger on the 3rd fret of the B string and our middle finger on the 4th fret, of the G string. So it's like open, 4, 3, open. And then we take that down by 2 frets. So let's just practice that, going both at 7, 5, that's the first step, I think, is to just get that. Over and over again. And once you can do that comfortably, we can figure out how to add everything to it. On our first shape, we go up, up, down. And with counting, it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, up, up, down. So it starts on the and of 4, just like our regular pattern. So that's our first bit, up, up, down. Then we go to our next shape and we go down, up. So we go down on that shape and then we quickly switch to our 3rd shape and we go up. That's the hardest part. Down, up. So down is on this shape, up is on that shape. All together what we have so far, up, up, down, down, up. Up, up, down, down, up. Then we switch to our 4th shape and we go up, up, down. We remove our first finger, down. We put our first finger back on, up. So that whole bit, I'm just lifting off my finger for 1 downstroke and then putting it back on. So up, up, down, down, up. And on that down, up, off, on for that finger. Off, on. Just practice that. Off, on. Then you can add up, down, off, on. When you put the whole thing together, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You do it 2 times and that's the intro. I'll do it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the pattern for the regular bit. To our D chord with your regular pattern a couple times until the words come in, and then you'll know what's going on. So at this point, you can navigate through each bit of the song. We really took our time working out everything. So the next step is to load up the original recording and listen to it a whole bunch. Try and figure out like, oh yeah, that's that part that I practiced with the thing at the blah, blah, blah fret, you know, and you just work through it and just kind of think your way through the tune. Really actively listen. Then come back to this tutorial, you know, go through the parts again, make sure you have it all together, and use the song to tell you when to go from one part to the next. I've worked out all the mechanics with you. You're now at the point where you are ready to work with the song. You should know all the chords, all the stuff, everything you need to do. You know, we've worked out all the motions. It's time to put it to use. And for that, there's no better teacher than the original recording. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. And if you need any extra help, don't forget, I have my free ebook, my premium beginners course, you know, all that stuff's designed to help you get from maybe never even having played guitar before, all the way to being able to play a song like this, no problem. And if you need any extra help, feel free to reach out in the comments, through my Facebook, or you could even email me through the contact sheet on my website. You know, if you need any extra help, I'm definitely there for you. Otherwise, I hope you have a fun time practicing this one, and I'll see you soon.